The Trucker's Daughter, a sharpshooter's stand. Clay Hawk Hawkins was no stranger to danger. A long-haul trucker and former Marine sniper, he'd spent years driving solo across the Southwest while raising his daughter Riley after his wife passed away. Riley, now 19, wasn't into parties or prom dresses. She preferred target practice, old westerns, and fixing engines. She had trained with her dad since she was 10. Hawk taught her to shoot, blend in, and stay calm when things went wrong. He never thought those skills would be tested for real until one hot August afternoon. They were hauling medical supplies through a remote part of New Mexico when a black SUV suddenly sped up behind them, lights flashing. It swerved in front of their truck and forced them to stop. Something felt off. No badges, no uniforms, just dark windows. Then the doors opened. Men with rifles stepped out. Tattoos, cold expressions. Cartel. "Open the trailer," one growled. Hawk stepped out with his hands up. "This is humanitarian cargo. Nothing worth stealing." The leader smiled. "We're not here for the cargo." That's when Riley noticed a second SUV behind them. They were boxed in. But the cartel didn't know the trailer had a hidden compartment, built by Hawk himself. Inside was something more dangerous than any cargo. Riley's sniper gear and emergency supplies. Hawk tried to buy time. "Let my daughter go," he said. The leader sneered. "She's involved now." Big mistake. While Hawk kept the cartel talking, Riley slipped out through a hidden side hatch and crawled under the truck. She reached a nearby rocky ridge, unpacked her custom M110 sniper rifle, and loaded a magazine. Then silence, until the first shot rang out. Crack! The rear SUV driver collapsed. Blood on the window. "Sniper!" someone screamed. Panic! The cartel scattered. But in the open desert, there was nowhere to hide. Riley stayed calm, each shot precise. Crack! 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 3 more went down. One man tried to rush Hawk, but Riley shot the gun from his hand. Hawk grabbed the dropped weapon and took down 2 more. When the dust settled, 5 cartel men were down. The rest fled into the desert, their SUVs full of bullet holes. Riley stepped out, rifle slung over her shoulder. Calm. Hawk stared, amazed. "Where'd you learn that?" She smirked. "You taught me, remember?" He hugged her tight. "Damn right I did." Later, police found the shot-up SUVs. When they saw the dash cam footage, they couldn't believe it was the work of a teenage girl. Word spread fast. In cartel circles, a new legend was born. Beware the trucker's daughter, she doesn't miss. But the fight wasn't over. The cartel didn't let things slide. Riley had embarrassed them. Now, they wanted her dead. 2 days later, they stopped at a quiet truck stop near El Paso. Hawk went inside for coffee. Riley stayed behind, but got that same bad feeling. She noticed a black Escalade with Arizona plates. Too clean, too quiet. Something was wrong. She moved quickly, slipping out of the cab, checking reflections and shadows. She peeked into the diner window. Hawk sat at the counter. Across from him, a man in a suit. No food, just talking. Behind the counter, a cook lifted his apron, revealing a gun. They were surrounded again. Riley rushed back to the trailer, opened the secret stash, and grabbed a suppressed Glock, an earpiece, and a tan ball cap. She looked like any local kid, except her eyes were focused and ready. She entered the diner through the back. Inside, Hawk already sensed trouble. The suited man smiled. "You embarrassed us," he said. "You and your daughter are going to disappear." "You sure about that?" Hawk replied, hands slowly moving. Crack! A plate shattered. Riley stepped out of the shadows, gun raised. "Step away from my dad!" The man turned, stunned. "She's just a—" Crack! Riley shot the cook's gun before he could even pull it. Chaos again. Hawk flipped the counter, pulled his backup pistol. Riley moved fast, clearing the room like a pro. By the time the police arrived, 3 cartel men were zip-tied on the floor, but the suited man was gone. Now it wasn't just a fence, it was war. That night, in a rundown motel, Hawk told her, "They'll keep coming." Riley nodded. "Let them." She opened a map and circled 3 cities. "You know his people?" she asked. Hawk nodded. "Old Marine friends. One in Phoenix ran a security firm. Another built rifles in Nevada." "Then let's go hunting," she said. Their first stop, Phoenix. There they met Mason Briggs, an ex-Marine who owed Hawk his life. Mason ran a security company with access to weapons, gear, and training. "Damn, Hawk, you look like hell," Mason said, seeing the scars. He glanced at Riley. "She the one I heard about?" "Yup," Poff replied. Mason gave a low whistle. "Heard you dropped 5 cartel guys with a suppressed M110. "They shouldn't have flanked," Riley shrugged. Mason grinned. "She's got it. Come on in." At the compound, Riley trained hard. Close combat, sniper drills, night ops. Mason gave her a lightweight custom carbine. After 3 days, they left. Better armed, better prepared. And with a name. Valdez. Not just another thug. Valdez was ex-Special Forces, sent north to take Riley out. Next, they drove to Nevada to see Jess Carter, Hawk's old friend. She ran a weapons lab on tribal land. Quiet, deadly, and brilliant. Jess handed Riley a custom rifle and said, "You'll hit a fly's ass from 900 yards. She gave Hawk a tactical rig and a suppressed shotgun. Next time, Jess said, "You end it." And they would. Their target? A cartel warehouse outside Albuquerque, disguised as a produce company. Valdez used it as a forward base. They set the trap at 2 a.m. Riley took overwatch from a water tower. Hawk drove up in a decoy truck. When the gates opened, Hawk rammed one SUV. Gunfire broke out. From above, Riley picked off enemies calmly and quickly. Then she saw him. Valdez. Calm, calculating, dangerous. He looked right at her. She fired. He ducked. "He's inside," Riley called over the radio. "I'm going in," Hawk replied. But Riley wasn't staying behind. She grabbed her gear and sprinted across the street. Inside the warehouse, shadows and crates, and Valdez. The fight was fast and brutal. Knives clashing, strikes landing. Valdez was strong, skilled, until Hawk burr. Valdez stumbled. Crack! Riley fired a single shot, center mass. He dropped. They stood there, breathing hard. "Are we done?" Riley asked. "With Valdez," Hawk said. He placed a hand on her shoulder. "That's